Good evening, Fernwood. It's me, Neil, and it's time for us all to set our clocks back 45 years to the time of Mary Hartman. Mary Hartman. Today's episode comes to us from June 2nd, 1976. Let's do a quick recap and get started right away. It began with the scene between Kathy and Cleet Meisenheimer. She approached Cleet about getting involved in television since she was encouraged by Father DeMarco, and Cleet greeted her with, come on, maybe an unwelcome one at that. At the factory, Tom and Charlie get together, and it appears that Tom is dealing with his heartbreak by drinking at work, and pretty intensely, beers and whiskey and all of that, all at the lunch table. Charlie thinks that is irresponsible, and so do I. Mary is dealing with her heartbreak in a different way. She has gotten involved with the helpline that gave her the listening ear that she needed so much last week. And she's not getting much training, but she seems to be somewhat effective. So we'll see what happens there. Meanwhile, at the Shumways, Martha learned from Raymond that she was adopted, and this is news to her. She's maybe not sure what to do with it. I think that family is still family, but also this is maybe a bit of a shock considering she's a middle-aged woman. And finally, back at the factory, Tom has been brought up to the office where the people in charge have found that all of the claims that Tom was making about the factory misappropriating funds are completely appropriate and give Tom the runaround. Tom is certainly not happy about that. Let's just do this. This is June 2nd, 1976. We're almost a month away from the bicentennial. Don't know if anything big is going to happen there, but hey, we get to celebrate our nation together. Let's get this started.
So, now, this is a special number hooked into our helpline trunk line.
Helpline.
All right, don't give it to any of your friends, not one friend.
Well, the only one I have is Heather, and she's only 12.
Worst offenders. You know, it is better that you have this here, since you are willing to get involved on a 24-hour basis.
Absolutely.
Mary, you've got your hotline.
I know.
Few people are as willing to get involved as she is.
Really?
I think it is wonderful.
Really? I just wish I had a hold button.
Mary,
What I'd like
I
is hold.
have to go now. I'll see you later.
Okay. Goodbye. Thanks very much.
Yes.
Do they have them sometimes with hold buttons,
So nice
buttons
to
and
meet
other
you, Mary.
numbers and things like that?
See you later.
Okay, goodbye. Thank you very much. Bye. Well, I... Do you believe it? I mean, I have my very own helpline here. My personal helpline. It's like my own personal hotline. I feel so very much like the President of the United States. Isn't it wonderful?
Yeah, it is.
It is, isn't it? You know, I like mine better than if it were the President of the United States. Do I know why? Because the President of the United States only gets to speak to Russians, and I don't think he speaks Russian.
That would make conversation difficult.
I think so. I mean, like, the only words I know how to say, I know niet, borscht, and tvarsh. So if I were to pick up the phone, I would say, no soup, comrade. Now, oh, watch this. Very first call. Helpline. Very first call. What is your name, please? Your address? Is there a suicide involved? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That was just the telephone company. They were just testing the line.
Oh. Gee, Mary, it's really great seeing you feeling so good, huh?
You know what it is, Howard? Do you know what it is? I am fulfilled. I mean, I have this sense of fulfillment, and it is very important for a person to feel fulfilled. And the work I'm doing on this helpline is a very fulfilling thing, helping people. I mean, I just love to help people.
That's a wonderful quality, Mary.
Oh, thank you, Howard. I mean, like, for example, from a woman. Very depressed woman. Very depressed. Very, very bad problem. Water bloat.
Did you help her?
I think so.
How?
Well, I suggested that she call a doctor who specializes in water. And then I got another call today. I got a call from a young boy, very depressed, very bad shape, very bad shape. Wanted a change of sex operation.
In Fernwood?
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought too. But I have a feeling that things like that don't have that much to do with the climate as we think it does. You know? But I talked to him for a while, and I want to tell you something. Now, I don't even know what a change of sex operation is. That boy felt better. I can guarantee you that.
Gee, Mary, we've been talking about all kinds of things, but you haven't said anything about Tom. I just want to know how he is.
Tom? No. Why should I want to know about Tom?
Mary, I'm worried about him. He's obviously in a very depressed mood and he can't seem to shake it off.
Oh, excuse me, that's the helpline. A little business call. Excuse me. Helpline.
Hello? Mary?
Yeah.
It's Dennis.
How did you get this number?
Love will find a way.
Can you believe this? Can you believe this? My friends are calling me on the helpline. A potential suicide could be leaving a phone booth now and heading directly for a bridge because my line is busy. I'm sorry, I can't talk to you on this line. This is just for help.
Well, I need help, Mary. And I can only get it from you.
What do you mean?
Mary, you're the only one who can put my life back together again. And I want to sing.
No.
I need you.
What you should do is you should forget about me and rest. You should get a lot of rest.
I'll never rest until I see you. Mary, I'm calling you for help. Please come by and see me.
Well, if it's just for help,
It's just for help.
all right. I don't know.
Tonight.
All right. But it's just for help. That was Dennis. I don't know if I should see him or not. I mean, he wants to see me, and I just don't know if I should see him. I don't know if I should or I shouldn't. Maybe I should write him a note. Do you think writing notes like help people?
Gee, Mary, I can't tell you what you should and shouldn't do. You have to make your own decision.
Why is it that when other people call me up for help, I can give it to them, but when I call myself up for help, nobody's home? Helpline. Ma, could you please call me in 10 minutes on the yellow?
Look, Mary, we're gonna have to continue this conversation some other time. It's getting late. Mother likes us to be on time for dinner.
Oh, okay. Listen, thanks for coming by, really.
Yeah.
Like that.
I enjoyed it too.
Yeah, it was really a pleasure. Okay. Nice to see you.
All right.
Oh,
Take it
by
easy.
the way, send my love to everyone. You know, to your mother and your brother.
Okay.
Okay. Helpline. Ma, I told you in 10 minutes on the yellow phone. I know you can't tell the color from your house, but you know what the number is. Don't go by the color, go by the number. Ma, will you get a hold of yourself and don't get hysterical? I've got to keep this line open for people who need help. Somebody should help her. Telling me about high school.
Oh yeah. So anyway, with all the partying and
fooling around with the girls that I did. It's a wonder I graduated from high school. Anyway, after I did, I
Father
decided...
DeMarco is in high school with you, right?
Frank? Yeah, why?
Oh, I just wonder because he looks older than you.
Oh, well, it's the work that he does. All the church services and charity work. That makes a man seem older. I observe things like that.
Well, that's what probably makes you such a good reporter.
Right. Now, you take me, for example. I'm always out there with the newsmobile unit, waiting for any breaking news that might occur. Kind of on my toes, as it were, ready for adventure. Stuff like that keeps a guy young. Kathy, how old do you think I am? Be comfortable. Just take a guess.
As old as Frank.
Right, but I don't look it, do I?
No, but not that Frank looks old. He's more mature.
Well, I've got my serious side, too, you know. You see, in my job, I'm in contact with life's realities. But I try to keep my serious side out of my broadcasts. I found that what the public likes in an anchorman is someone who's, you know, kind of, sexy.
So, Frank, he went to school. What was he like?
Well, he didn't hell around like the rest of us. But he was a good egg. We liked him anyway.
He was an athlete.
Yeah, how'd you know that?
Oh, because he has a wonderful body.
You know, Kathy, you've got a sharp eye. A sharp eye. That's what you need in this TV business to get along.
Well, I'm not in this TV business. Frank thinks that I would be good, but...
Honey, you might be in the TV business sooner than you think.
Really, what does that mean?
You ready for a little surprise?
Sure, what?
Well, I set up an appointment for you to meet with the producer of Fernwood's cooking show, Feasting in Fernwood.
Oh, I saw that once. It's the pits.
Right. You're so right. Like I said, Kathy, you're very sharp. Well, we had a top-level staff meeting, and you know what we decided? We decided that that show was D-U-L-L.
Dull?
The pits. We decided that what it needs is someone like you.
But I don't know anything about cooking.
Oh, honey, you don't have to. We brainstormed this thing, and we decided that what that show needs is zingo.
Zingo?
You know, what we call in the show business pizzazz. Somebody like you. Somebody who'll be the cook's helper. Kind of hand him his spatula and peel his eggplant and all like that. Oh, and you'll be wearing a very sexy little costume and you know what you'll be called?
No, what?
Oh, this is confidential. This was my idea. When I ran this one up the flagpole, everybody saluted. Are you ready? The kitchen cookie.
The kitchen cookie?
Don't you get it? It's a pun.
Oh, the kitchen, of course. I get it.
Good, good. Well, I told the producer all about you, and I don't think my recommendation is going to do you any harm. My bet is that you're going to be in TV, and you're going to be the kitchen cookie.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate all that you're doing.
Oh, it's all okay. I'm telling you, it's all okay. Kathy, you and I are a couple of okay kids. Why shouldn't we be nice to each other?
If you'll excuse me.
Little girl's room?
Oh, no, I want to call somebody and tell them about my new job.
Your mother?
No, Father DeMarco. Frank. Hi, Ma.
Oh, Kathy, I'm so glad you're home. I have something to ask you.
Well, if it's about my personal life, don't ask. I have enough questions I can't answer myself.
Oh, no. It has nothing to do with your personal life. It's about you.
Oh, well, wait, what's the difference?
Kathy, what would you say if I were to tell you that I am adopted?
Well, I think I would say that that's a question about you and not a question about me.
But Kathy, you're my daughter, so that makes it a question about you, doesn't it?
Well, as a matter of personal relationships, whether if you were adopted, who said you were adopted?
Grandpa Larkin,
Oh, well, you know how he is.
forgetful?
Yeah, and how could a person forget that his daughter was adopted, I mean, for 50 years?
Well, if I was adopted, then I'm not his daughter. And you and Mary aren't his granddaughters, and George isn't his son-in-law. Or is he?
How can a person forget something like that? I mean, even a forgetful person.
Oh, no, he didn't forget to tell me. He thought someone else had told me, so he just never mentioned it.
So listen, what did Grandpa say exactly?
Oh, Grandpa isn't your grandpa.
Oh, that's what he said.
No, he said that
Yeah.
I was adopted.
Well, Mother, even if you were adopted, we all still love you. Now, what else did he say?
Then he said that the Mickey Mouse Club reruns were starting on TV and that he had to go watch.
I don't understand why he watches that show. It's the pits.
Well, it was talent roundup day, Kathy. Oh, and I have got to find out who I am.
How are you going to do that?
I am going to track down my real parents. I have got to find out who I am.
Well, Mother, isn't being my mother enough?
Yes, Kathy, but who was I before that? I have got to find out. Maybe my parents were rich. Maybe I was Martha Rockefeller.
Mother, I think the Rockefellers can afford to keep their children.
Well, maybe my parents were insane. Oh, it's important to find these things out. You know, insanity can be passed on. And I wouldn't want my children to be insane. But maybe it's too late to do anything about that. Now, Kathy, how does a person go about trying to find out who their real parents are?
Mother, how can we be sure of anything? I mean, what's right or what's wrong? I mean, who knows? Do you?
No, but maybe I would if I had had parental guidance from my unknown parents.
Hi, Tom. Oh, hi. How are you? Okay. Listen, I'd come back, did he?
No. I don't think he's going to be back for quite a while. He's getting even with me for going out the other night and having that drink.
Yeah, he asked me to go with him too. I just didn't feel like it. I'd rather drink here, it's quiet,
Been hitting that stuff kind of hard, haven't you, Tom?
Oh, look, I can handle it. Come on.
Why do you do it?
There's a lot of pressure on me, Howard. I mean, a lot of pressure.
What do you mean? That's union stuff with the factory?
Oh, hell no, it's not just the damn union. I mean, it's every damn thing else at work. I mean, it's the working conditions. I mean, it's the atmosphere. It's the whole damn setup thing. I mean, man, that's pressure. I mean, you talk about pressure. That is a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean about pressure. I had a lot of pressure on me in the last job I had. Of course, it wasn't the same kind of pressure you're under, but...
Yeah.
Don't you think you had enough for tonight, Tom?
Huh? What?
Don't you think you had enough?
Oh, look, Howard, I'm trying to put myself out, okay? Huh?
What do you mean?
Well, Howard, I can't sleep. I mean, I can't sleep. I toss and turn. Every night I toss and turn. I mean, I can't think. I think. All I think about is home. I just think about home. I think about... think about Heather. I mean, she's so pretty. Isn't she pretty? Huh? Think about her. Think about her doing her homework. And I think about Mary. She's folding the laundry probably now, Yeah. And when she gets ready to go to bed, she combs her hair out. She just has beautiful hair. God, she's got beautiful hair.
Why don't you go back to her, Tom?
What?
Why don't you go home?
Oh, no. No way. No, sir. Not after what happened. No, I can't. I can't, Howard. In fact, you know what I'm thinking about doing? I'm gonna get a place of my own. Yes, sir. I'm gonna get a place of my own.
Live by yourself?
Yes, sir. See, because I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. I don't know what the hell it's all about anymore. I mean, the whole damn scene, life. What the hell is it supposed to be? I mean, I don't know what the hell is a guy supposed to do with it anymore. What the hell am I supposed to do with my life? Huh? What? I don't know. I honestly gotta know. I used to think I knew. I used to think that I knew exactly what to do, and I swear to you, I don't know. Because in the beginning, I've been beginning to think, I'm beginning to think, I don't know who the hell I am. I thought I knew it. I thought I was that guy. And I used to look at me, hey, what am I? I mean, I'm a hard-working, decent guy. I look at myself in the mirror and say, I ain't bad looking either. Hard-working, decent guy. That's what I thought I was. But it just ain't that way anymore.
Tom, you make your own problem. You get a wife that loves you. And I don't care what you say, I know you love her. And I know she wants you back. Now there's your answer, Tom. You ought to go home.
Really, Howard? I don't think you should be trying to tell Tom how to live his own life. He is a grown-up, intelligent man. And after all, we're just neighbors, not marriage counselors. I am sure that Tom will be able to figure out all by himself the right thing to do.
You know what I'm going to do right now? Guess what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to take a long walk. Okay? No, I'm going to take a long walk. Yeah. And then I'm going to... Maybe I'll get really tired and I'll go to sleep, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Take it easy, Tom.
Yeah, I'll see you.
Bye-bye.
I used to be a catcher, too.
No, I'm just trying to help him out, Mom.
You're wasting your time. Some people can communicate with some people and other people can't.
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
Well, it's obvious that Tom and Mary can't communicate with each other. They have some kind of a block. But take two other people. You and Mary, just for instance. You two don't have that kind of a problem. What you have is called rapport.
No, Mother, you're reading something into that relationship that just isn't there.
Am I?
Yes. You're missing the whole point of what is really going on. Hello.
So, so lots of little drops in this episode. Starts with Mary getting her own helpline in her home, and to me, I feel like this conversation about Mary feeling fulfilled, I don't think that she is, and I think that she is deluding herself about the things that she's feeling. She's feeling a lot of pain, and she's hiding from it. That's not to say that she shouldn't be helpful, but she's going to have a lot of emotions to deal with, and she really isn't dealing with them. She tends to avoid dealing with the feelings by doing something. Again, not to say that she shouldn't do something, it's the question of why she does something. And she's going to have some conversations with many people in her life, at the very least Tom and Dennis, to figure this out. Then we get the Cleet and Kathy scene where Cleet continues to come on to Kathy. Kathy evades, of course. She gets offered the job of kitchen cookie and is gonna be dressed up in some kind of hottie to toddy little outfit. She, though, her attention seems to be going back to Father DeMarco, which is intriguing. Maybe that's a question. Then Martha questions her whole familial history. And yesterday I mentioned, just because she's adopted doesn't mean that Grandpa Larkin is not family to her. Just not genetic family. And maybe the questions that I had about Grandpa Larkin's feeling of craziness and Mary's feeling of craziness, maybe that's not too relevant. Maybe we still have family. Maybe they still have family. Even though the genetic lines aren't intact. I have to say, I feel like I remember storylines from other shows where kids found out they were adopted and it was this sort of traumatic thought. And I can't speak to that experience. Uh, I have to say that my personal feeling is that Grandpa Lark and his family will never change. And then we get to a few scenes in the McCullough household with Tom continuing to mask his heartbreak with liquor, and that was really tough. He has the idea of going out to find his own place, which maybe resolves the issue that Howard has, that he wants to hide the gayness of his family. He shouldn't have to, but it's 1976, so I get why he might feel the need to. And finally, Betty continuing to push towards Howard and Mary getting involved in some kind of romantic way, which is utterly ridiculous to me. Even even in the 1970s, I might have thought that was ridiculous. I was 5, so maybe I don't know. Maybe if I wouldn't have understood it, but even before the continued conversations and education that I have put myself through, I feel like that would be a fairly ridiculous question. I've addressed it too many times to unpack it more, but basically, Mary has plenty of problems without another romantic attachment, and Howard is gay. As far as the show is concerned, that's the situation. Until we learn more, I guess. And that is our June 2nd, 1976 episode of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and we will see you tomorrow night in Fernwood.